I guess I don't know. It's surprising because heal strats seem to be fairly popular, like the Dazzles, the
Right.
Chens. And we're also seeing a lot of Death Prophet, a lot of Troll Warlord. Well, maybe not a lot of Troll Warlord, but some.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Oracle seems to be the least popular hero that can synergize with all that. So yeah, I don't think that they're going to bother hard countering the Darkseer.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a hero I definitely don't see very often.
It's a really strong answer for the Darkseer, at least, where he is not going to have to be
Yeah.
too worried about those Ion Shells coming in. I will say,
Juggernaut is unplayed in both of Americas and Southeast Asia so far.
yeah, there you go. Has the new Aghanims. I think that's more of a pub fun type of thing, but there are
Yeah.
elements of it that are cool. The thing I was going to say is that, again, if they did want to switch it up, any type of Dispel this game is so good against CR's team. You've got Surge, Ion Shell Dispelled, you've got Frost Shield, and you've also got the Magnetize. So it is a super good Purge game if you've got it. Juggernaut can sometimes run into some issues later on against Earth Spirit, where if you can silence coming out of the side of the lane or whatever, he's probably gonna have to build into a Manta or something to deal with that.
I think that with Juggernaut's built-in spell immunity, I think that's the only dispel that they're interested in. And then technically they have Shadow Demon's Demonic Purge, but that's not really like a laning phase dispel, which is
Right.
what I'm sure you had in mind. But I am curious, why opt for the Juggernaut as opposed to a Life Stealer? Does a little bit better in lane versus Darkseer. Pushes a little bit better, I guess, but I find that debatable now that Feast gives attack speed. So I'm curious if they're going to pick some mid laner who, I don't know, can take advantage of Juggernaut.
I guess arguably you could do better against Void, where like your Lifestealer is always going to get time walked back after a certain period of time, whereas maybe if you've like been able to wait for the time walk, you can Omni Slash and bring him down before Void gets another time walk.
10 seconds.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the only other thing I could think of. It's definitely not amazing.
No.
But I think usually that the healing ward, if you're not using your draft to use that and get a lot out of it, then it's not
So
great.
Let's see like a pushing offlaner, hopefully. Oh, sweet. I mean, it's not an offlaner, so I'm curious. Maybe it's a 3-position Snapfire, 4-position Void Spirit, 5-position Shadow Demon.
I mean, they could,
or it's
still,
a support Leshrac.
They still could do Leshrac 3, right?
I don't think that would be good against a Faceless Void. I think a Faceless Void can take advantage of that. You're very, very susceptible to time dilation. You don't really do very much to scare off Faceless Void. He's just going to time walk all of your lightning storms off. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's possible. It either depends on who they want to give the most farm to, because if they want to push fast, then yeah, giving Leshrac the higher farm priority is more important. Which is why I would prefer to see him mid, even though they don't see the mid lane matchup yet. So if it's a reasonable mid lane matchup, I feel like it would be in Carl's best interest to take the Leshrac mid. But only because I want them to push. Like you said, why draft Juggernaut if you're not going to take advantage of the healing ward? And the best way to take advantage of the healing ward is to start 5-manning and start pushing and grouping very early on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. I think that's, I mean, and again, going back to the choice of Juggernaut over a Life Stealer, that would make a lot of sense for that one. CR now, you're looking for your mid. Who's it going to be?
Storm
okay.
Spirit.
All right. We're unpausing, apparently. We're pausing.
Okay. Gotta be sure. Oh, Ohio says, sorry, I forgot. I forgot. WTF? Carl says, Lamau. Haha, sorry guys. Are you opening the chat? Can you see us?
What?
Yeah. Got scared suddenly. I mean, Storm Spirit seems like an intentional pick.
I
forgot to...
What the hell?
I mean, Storm Spirit's fine. I have no issues with Storm Spirit. They have minimal control. I think he thought that the pick didn't go through or something, but I'm pretty sure that was intentional. I'm pretty sure Storm Spirit was the plan.
Oh, maybe he forgot that he was the one that was supposed to be picking?
Oh, yeah, because Mushi usually has the crown next to him.
Okay.
Well, but you picked the entire draft. You're not gonna get to the very end of the draft and be like, "Oh my god, what is it? What was happening? Am I supposed to pick now?"
Well, maybe it was like yeah. So you know what it probably was they were talking for a long time about it, and then he forgot because they took a long time for that last one, and then he was just like,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh god, I gotta pick it before the time runs out. And then that's what the pause came.
I'm pretty sure that they got the hero that they wanted, and if they didn't, man, that's an amazing random to get because Storm Spirit is pretty ideal for their draft. The only thing is that they do not have very much damage to put into the Chronosphere. They have Ion Shell and they have Chain Frost, and that's like it. I don't think Magnetize is good enough. Storm Spirit's range isn't exceptional, so he can't really do it, and most of his damage is coming from like Vortex into Remnant, so that's the only shortcoming I see from the CR draft. Aside from that, I consider both these drafts to be pretty even, but only because I have not seen Juggernaut in a while, and I don't know how good he is. But I trust Raven with any hero that he picks, so...
He's going to have an amazing lane. I don't know what your plan is as far as pressure goes from the Darkseer and the Earth Spirit early on. I think that I almost feel like it's going to be one of those games where like Earth Spirit has to stay up top first to try and find a kill or something. Like if they try and pressure this Jug early, I don't see it working. It's so hard to get pressure on with like how little damage Ion Shell does. It's only 24 damage per second.
No.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Game 1, Geek Fam facing off against CR as the tips are already beginning. And we know we didn't talk about it, but Zephyr, he is not playing Tusk for the first time.
Oh god, you're right. It was banned. It was first phase banned. That was one of the first things that I checked.
Yeah.
But he's playing a different hero. Wow. Oh yeah, okay, so what did they okay, so Carl is taking last track man. Okay.
So dead. Oh my god. Get out of there. Does he have the 8th Remnant? Is he gonna use it? Oh, a little bit of a misplay. That's why they put him on Tusk.
That's why you put him on Tusk.
Well, that's not a great start for the Darkseer, but he'll have a full mana pool at least. So there's something.
True. So yeah, they give the 4 position to Shadow Demon. They give the 5 position to the Void Spirit, actually. Wait. Oh, no, sorry. Zephyr's the 5.
Yeah, 3 Cuckoo.
3 Cuckoo, and Whitemon is the... Wait, is Whitemon the... I'm psyching myself out now. Cuckoo's the 3, Whitemon's the 5, Zephyr's the 4.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so 5 position Snapfire, 4 position Shadow Demon, as now they disrupt Mushi, but Darkseer has entered back into the game. Although Raven with Juggernaut is coming back, and these illusions...
Oh, they take him down. Mushi
Raven has
dead
Blade Fury.
again, and the spin in onto both. Zephyr is even going to go down. Zhao Yu chasing, trying to find the finish, and they will give it over to Ben-Hur in the end. But now, like, Zhao Yu's lane is so... Oh, this is going to be really frustrating. He has to buy a salve and bring it out to himself. Going to delay the Soul Ring. Yeah, this is tough. This is going to be a tough one for him. We'll see how he does.
And Raven misses absolutely nothing. He TP's back to the lane, and Whitemon's gonna walk back, so basically full experience. And like, this is great to give full experience, because he doesn't have to deal with a Darkseer Ion Shell at level 1 right now, so this is a fantastic start for Geek Fam right now. And Xiao Yu's getting zoned out in the meanwhile by Whitemon. Man, this is rough.
Yeah. So they're going to pull this wave back. This is about the best thing you can hope for. And in the meantime, Raven is going to go immediately to pull it back behind the other tower. So they're going to trade these ones off. Shouldn't be able to get any side pulls here, most likely, as Zhao Yu is going to try and get level 2. So this is kind of what you have to do as Ohio now, which is kind of frustrating, but we'll see if it works out for him.
Surprisingly, Raven ends up pulling it back into the tower.
Okay.
I wonder... why?
Some very smart reason, I'm sure. Raven's a smart
Some
guy.
very smart reason, I'm sure, yeah. I guess, oh, maybe it's because Ion Shell is going to push it anyway, so you're going to be, like, super, super far back if you kill off your wave between the tier 1 and the tier 2. So, yeah, Ion Shell is going to push this out regardless.
Raven gets that one now. He's going to be able to take it out. He can just tank through that level 1 Ion Shell. Whitemon is actually pulling a couple of creeps with him here, which is somewhat frustrating. Raven moving in, they're going to force the surge away, as they're just going to actually pull this back behind the tower. So this is a nice move here by CR. They're doing everything they can to give Xiao Yu a good lane, but they miss the range creep. And Whitemon actually might be able to get this deny. He desperately on Xiao Yu wants to get level 3. It's so important, and it looks like they're almost going to get it now off of that range creep. And the next wave here. And I missed a kill. Mushi, dead.
That's okay. Disruption into Void Spirit stuff seems to be the case, but it's a squishy lich. I'm watching the bot lane also because I'm just curious to see what Earth Spirit's game plan is, because I don't really see a point at which things get easy for him. Like, even mid lane he can't roam onto, because Ben-Hur actually did take an early point in Vortex, and actually used Vortex. I wonder what happened mid. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So he's 1-1-2 right now. So theoretically, they kind of do have a little bit of setup on Carl Leshrac, but well, Ohio's kind of roaming around in the jungle.
Well, up top, they pull back in Cuckoo on the Void Spirit, trading a lot of hits here. Zephyr, his Voids, Faceless Void, rather, illusions were getting a little bit frisky with BT Faded. But yeah, mid lane, looking like so far a little bit ahead for Ben-Hur here on the Storm Spirit. And with Xiao Yu getting level 3, the lane becomes a little bit easier. He still does not quite have his Soul Ring. I think that's coming out of the courier now.
Your courier Jug? What?
Well, you know, sometimes these things just happen. Whitemon's stunned. And Cookie, yeah, he's going to get out.
How do you let that happen? Darkseer's been living in between your two waves.
Yeah.
All right, well, rip boots and wand. Not that the wand really makes that much of a difference. Darkseer's casting all of his ion shells miles and miles away from Raven, but Raven's getting basically perfect CS right now. I think he only missed a few in the first wave, and then aside from that, he's free farming. Now the only penalty is that Snapfire is struggling to find experience, because she's just contesting the Darkseer and giving the Jug solo experience. But Jug is now almost level 5.
Oh, dodges away from that, but won't be able to dodge the right click coming from Ben-Hur. He tanks some aggro. The tower got angry with him, and the rotation from Earth Spirit made sure the kill happens.
Into the tower?
No, he didn't get kicked. He was pressuring the storm and then overextended. They have Scatterblast again in a second here. Ohio gonna lose his clarity, and a nice salve there being used by Xiao Yu. So continued pressure as they're looking to try and take down, or rather get themselves some bounty runes. Whitemon throws out the Scatterblast, has the Cookie still. Spin on a 2! Oh, it's pretty. It's real pretty. Ohio's gonna go down, and Xiao Yu, he's just probably dead as well. One more punch coming from Raven with a crit, possibly a chance. Scatterblast gets the kill, and Ben-Hur not level 6 to clean up.
I was actually very surprised as Mushi also dies yet again. The river. I was surprised that Juggernaut actually opted to chase the Earth Spirit, because Earth Spirit is way lower priority. Earth Spirit's level 3. I guess Darkseer is also level 3, but they end up getting both kills. Sick Cookie into Blade Fury combination. That's something that a Lifestealer couldn't do for sure. So in terms of laning damage, Juggernaut is definitely making use of Blade Fury. Those early kills before the 0-minute mark, and now in combination with the Snapfire, Raven's putting on a clinic, and he's level 6 now, so he's got Omni Slash available.
Yeah, this lane is, I mean, you pretty much have to stay down here as Ohio between the creep way, or tier 1 and tier 2. There's really not much chance that he can go for any type of aggressive play, as they do find the stun onto Ohio after the imprisonment, and they get another kill. And now this rotation comes. Raven had Blade Furied the wave as the Cookie lands. Nice job going up high ground, is moving a position, able to find him, and Xiao Yu gonna die. So that's the other play. I mean, this is the thing that's so tough about playing Darkseer now, is Raven, he Blade Furies the wave, makes sure that he can clear through it, and then just comes back and Omni Slashes the Darkseer, and it's a super easy kill.
Yeah, and I don't think many Darkseers want to have to revert to the jungle pre level 5. I think once you have 3 points in Ion Shell, then it's kind of okay, but before that, it kind of sucks. And so, yeah, he just keeps coming back to the lane. Again, he's TPing right back down to mid once more. And Raven is level 7 now, killing spree, and nearly 1,000 net worth ahead of the Faceless Void.
Yeah. I mean, there isn't really another play for the Darkseer. That's the thing that's so tough about it. Like you said, jungle not really open yet, and Ben-Hur is going to go take some of these stacks in the jungle. The plus side is there's no Omni Slash on Jug now.
True.
So that's something. But
You're not wrong.
we'll have to see.
Raven got a Yasha queued up. Okay. He has the Morbid Mass completed and going into the Yasha.
Ben-Hur thinking about going on to Carl, but the stun is going to be there, and then afterwards the cookie.
Beautiful.
Ben-Hur gone. Geek Fam were so ready for that. Now look at Jug. He's just cutting the wave back behind their tier 2 towers. It's like, if you guys
Darkseer can't send his courier because Jug is here now.
Look, he got level 5. That solves all the problems.
Can it fly? Is it gonna fly? Oh, you're sending it. Aw.
In the meantime, Carl takes down the tower. They're going to connect onto the Darkseer. They know where he's at.
And he gets an Arcane Rune on the Leshrac, so this is probably going to be a tier 1 tower going down bot. Oh, Chrono up top also.
Okay. They kill off Cuckoo. He's the only one that's having kind of a tough time right now on Geek Fam. Who are up 3,000 gold at 8 minutes into this game.
Yeah, but even him having a tough time has not been giving VT Faded free farm. Right. He's still contesting it relatively well. Which, Jug's net worth is like massively inflated right now, but... okay, now Raven does complete the full Mask of Madness. Because I saw the Yasha and I was just like, wow, is he really not going to finish the Mom? But he's got that completed, and he's got Omni Slash available too, so if Whitemon manages to get another cookie into Blade Fury, they can very easily kill like anyone who shows up bot.
Yeah. It's very, very quick and easy kill. He's trying to get aggro. One for the... He took down the
Surge
healing ward.
for the healing ward.
I mean, it's the most gold that he's going to get easily for a while, if we're going to be honest about it. Raven turns onto Ohio. They're going to bring another hero down here bottom. VT Faded in the area.
Don't have Chrono, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just because they're going to take the tower up top, so he can't be top anymore. So
yeah.
Raven is going to be
now there's 3 heroes down here who can't take an objective. They're just all sharing farm together.
No, it's not easy. They're actually going to be 4 heroes down bottom, and Raven knows about this. Now, the question is, do you want to TP with the rest of these heroes and take this fight? There's an argument to be made that they could do it. And VT Faded...
for Geek Fam? Yeah, Geek, with no Chrono, they'll absolutely take this fight.
All 5 heroes are down bottom. They're bringing in a couple more. They'll
fight if they go to the tower, because right now, CR and are
combo. Wraparound coming in onto Mushi. They jump in with Ben-Hur as well, trying to find him. The big old silence, but Ben-Hur, is it going to be enough for him to get out afterwards? I don't think so. Tries to TP, ain't going to happen. A triple kill for Carl as they blow all of them up.
And they didn't even technically claim both outposts because their own outpost is Radiant. And so, experience the split. You give 3 kills away to Geek Fam. Leshrac gets even larger. BOT's Bracer completed. He's going to push down this bot tier 1. Mushi comes to defend. This is brutal.
They use the glyph there to try and stop the pressure, but now it's just going to be time for a catapult wave to come in, and Raven will finish regardless. Yeah, hard game. 5,000 gold lead now at 10 minutes in, and not really looking like it's going to ease up at any point in time in the near future. Again, the biggest thing with him is that, you know, Cuckoo's not having an amazing game on Geek Fam, but he's getting enough. He's getting enough.
VT Faded is getting 3 crits in a row from Raven. Oh, God. He has Chrono up, but I don't think he can kill anyone other than maybe the Shadow Demon and the Snapfire. I think Void Spirit, well, it's not worth blowing your second Chrono on Void Spirit. I think the first one was great because he didn't have to rotate, but now Void Spirit's having to move around, and Geek Fam are going to start team fighting now, so you may even need to hold on to the Chrono.
Mid lane, they find him. Ben-Hur yet again gonna die.
How did that happen?
Disruption into Split Earth. Carl destroyed him.
Yeah, but like...
And now Ohio is also going to be under control and going to die. So a double kill for Carl mid. And it just continues to fall off the rails here for CR.
Wait, did Zephyr like walk behind like the trees or something? Or did he like walk up the river?
He might have been smoked or something. He literally just walked like that. But I don't know if it was a smoke or what. I just saw the disruption come out.
That's it. Well, That's not good.
Yeah. We will have to see. I don't know. I don't know, man.
And now Raven's getting a pretty free lane. I mean, sorry, Cuckoo's getting a free lane, so despite him kind of somewhat getting shut down in air quotes, which is not really shut down because he's basically beating the enemy mid laner in terms of net worth right now, but he's getting a free lane to himself.
Oh, this would be a big kill for them if they could catch Carl here. They're moving in. Mushi is nearby as well as Ohio. They got to roll. They got to find him, but it ain't going to happen in time. And now their eyes are on Cuckoo, and this isn't really going to work either, I don't think. He's just backing out. He realizes that they could be coming towards him, and Cuckoo, I mean, maybe if they get the silence, roll in, jump from far range, they are going to get him now. So they find a kill, but it is Cuckoo, and the rest of the team is farming.
Yeah, and there's great vision, which kind of made Cuckoo wary to begin with. Just one Radiant Ward inside the eastern jungle, and obviously Whitemon was like near the enemy bot tier 2 tower, so that pretty much confirmed that all of Dire are on the top half of the map. So Cuckoo backs out, Leshrac backs out, but it would have been much more costly if Carl ended up dying. So if you had to sacrifice one hero, it might as well be the Void Spirit.
Well, down bottom Raven, they have to be a little bit wary since there is still a Chronosphere available, but VT faded. They had eyes on him the entire time. He's going to go and just try and farm this one hard camp as the Ancients have already been taken, and Raven just oppressive in his farming patterns, taking everything away from CR.
I mean, even if they chrono jug, it's not that big of a deal because they have disruption. So
yeah, it's true.
You can't really kill a single target in chrono unless if Shadow Demon's on the other side of the map are also caught in the chrono.
Yeah. Well,
Getting
ready to go.
On VT faded. Ooh.
Can't quite get in range. Does Zephyr have... I thought he might have been going for an Aether Lens, but he's actually just bulked up. Double bracer with a headdress.
Yeah. At this point, his job is just to help people live in the chrono. Because Carl has the Yules now, so he doesn't even need the disruption setup for Split Earth. He can make his own setup.
All right, Raven pushing the tower. Can throw the healing ward behind him if he wants. Already got the Yasha done. Going back for the Sanjin Yasha, a little surprised by that. But meanwhile, the smoke up. CR getting ready to surge 1. Could Ion Shell 2 if they want. Cuckoo head over to the other direction. They roll in. The taunt pulls them back in. Oh, man. And I thought Ben-Hur was going to drop his items and destroy him there. God
damn it.
But no, he was being efficient with his mana usage. Jesus.
3 bounty runes gonna go to Radiant. One of them go to Dire. Bro, what do you do as Earth Spirit these days? Because it's kind of hard for me even to pinpoint. Like Earth Spirit always a top tier hero, and these days not so much a top tier hero. Doesn't get in range to stun Whitemon either. Although Cookie is down.
Run away, Whitemon. Looks like he is eventually going to die. Yeah, I think it's a tough one, right? Like, well, part of the problem was that they picked this Earth Spirit Darkseer lane, and then they still left open like Jug and Lifestealer as potential answers. Because like, ideally, you'd be able to pressure whoever the safe lane is, and that's one of the issues. Is that in Dota you're like picking supports first.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. Oh, and Cuckoo Six senses it. Oh, and Ben-Hur blows all of his mana. He senses the distortions in the void. That's how he knew. The wavelengths were all off. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying. It's just then why Earth Spirit? Because other heroes can also pressure the lane. Like if you want to do something like get like a bounty hunter maybe and pair it with the Darkseer, put the Ion Shell on him. Like what is Earth Spirit giving you that other supports aren't giving you?
So I think in that instance, like that was a pretty clear example of what it's supposed to be able to give you, which is the ability to initiate from Fog and then have Ben-Hur follow up with it afterwards, right? Like that feels to me like it was the goal there, but that kill doesn't happen because Cuckoo's some kind of god. And then he just gets
distortions in the void.
Can I tell you a Cuckoo story real quickly?
Please.
It's Cuckoo because it's the player, it's Cuckoo because it was crazy. 2 reasons. So
Cocoa Puffs.
This man was playing a game as position 3 Dazzle offlane, and I remember it so clearly.
Wait, how long ago was this?
I don't know. This was back in the TNC days before TI9 at some point. I don't remember what it was. It was some qualifier for some event. I remember it so clearly. He was walking up the river right here next to like I can't ping it, but it was right here. And he was walking up the river and he saw just for like half a second Winter Wyvern, and then he graved himself, and a second later the Wyvern ultied him. And then his grave saved his own life from getting killed by his teammates, and then they went on to win the fight. Like,
Whoa.
right? It was like less than a second before the Winter's Curse came out. He graved himself, and then the Wyvern ultied him. It was nuts. It was like the biggest outplay I've seen ever. And that's the type of thing where like he's always thinking just one step ahead of everybody else.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's pretty sick.
it's one of those plays that I'm gonna remember forever. I still miss the days when he played mid and would just like feed relentlessly as Queen of Pain and then win them the game. But
I'm pretty sure he does not miss those days.
True enough. 10,000 gold lead. What else were we talking about? We were talking about Earth Spirit. Yeah, Hero's not great anymore.
Yeah. But he got buffed. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, Jarex is gonna come out. He's gonna come out of retirement. He's back in the game." Earth Spirit got buffed. Okay, let's see. Let me pull up this dude's changelog. Okay, so he got buffed 3 patches in a row, I believe. Yeah, so 7.23, he got an int buff, and all of his talents got buffed a little bit. 7.24, they dropped 5 seconds off of his remnant replenish time.
That was a nice.
And 7.25, they buffed up his agi by 0.9, which is a pretty big gain, even though agi isn't that important, but still substantial for armor for a hero that initiates. And all of his talents got buffed. He got 15 more damage on his level 10 left talent. He got 100 more damage, 100 more distance on his level 10 right talent. And he also got spell amp increased to 20%.
Right.
So this is like, has Earth Spirit really not been meta since 7.23? That he's gotten all of these buffs and still isn't that good as a hero? It's crazy to me.
I know, and I think some of it is like, you know what it reminds me of? It actually, it's like Magnetize and Epicenter to me feel like, maybe it's just because it's the circles going out or something, but that like slow magical damage over time that can build up a lot, it always feels just like so unimportant, you know?
It's true.
Like that to me, this is an ultimate feels like way less interesting. And I'm wondering if like maybe you need to think about like rebuilding that style of thing, because it just doesn't, it never feels impactful. Maybe up the damage. I don't know.
I think a lot of it is coming from the fact that like all the neutral items kind of, Earth Spirit doesn't really take advantage of any neutral items. I can't think of any neutral item that I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I got this thing on Earth Spirit. The Nether Shell, I guess, is nice. Clumsy Net isn't even that good because then like you can't roll, and so you can't set up with a Clumsy Net, so that's not great. Philosopher's Stone is like whatever, that's good on every single support. And then there's a lot of stuff that is good against Earth Spirit, like Minotaur Horn is really good at shutting down Earth Spirit. Like the Vampire Fang's Night Vision is really good at being able to find these rolls that are coming from a distance. And then just all the magic resistance, all the HP increases, all these things that kind of mitigate this long team fight style of ult that Magnetize is. So I guess that must be what it is, because the hero just seems so powerless compared to the more popular 4 positions right now.
Mushi, my man, is gonna go down here, it looks like, as Zephyr finds him. And, well, Cuckoo comes to finish off the hard work that Zephyr did.
He blew a step, a remnant, and the resonant pulse just to get that kill.
Unbelievable.
Top lane.
Can they get him?
Spirit?
I think the answer is yes.
Yes.
He kicked him first, though. Yes. He kicked Raven. Never forget.
You kick my jug.
God, Raven is such a freaking beast right now. And they're just going down one by. Oh, okay. A little bit of a misplay there. Not able to find it, but the secondary stun bent her. Oh, good dodge. I think he did see him there. Now the cookie, Chain Frost, Ben-Hur finds the kill. So they're able to get at least a return something for CR.
And they tip him.
Okay.
Got tip your Snapfire for feeding. The triple tip.
Oh my god. It's all of Geek Fam that does it. That's great.
I mean, their spirits are running high. This is the freest game that, like, basically their whole team has had. Snapfire is doing quite well. Juggernaut's above and beyond expectations, as is the Leshrac. I'm surprised that Leshrac is actually out farming the Jug. That's pretty impressive from Carl. and Void Spirit is more than back into the game now.
I will say that these last couple of minutes, despite like those couple of losses, like it was mainly on supports, right? Mushi goes down, Ohio goes down. If they could sort of keep these cores alive, that's a way that they can sort of, you know, survive through these rough stages of this game. Carl needs to be careful about not stepping too far forward, because he really, I mean, I guess the Yule Scepter's somewhat defensive, but I still think he's killable.
Yeah, if they can catch him, because right now he's so fast move speed, 523 move speed as a Leshrac with just really 2 move speed items, the Travels and the Yules, so he's very, very slippery. And Storm Spirit actually has hit level 12, so his ult does move a little bit faster, but when it was just the level 6 ult, like, he was missing so many potential initiations.
Alright, this is their time right here, right now. They gotta find the right opening, though. Ion Shell onto Ohio, jump in, finding Cuckoo right at the start. They kill him off.
Nice.
Okay, a good way to make this happen. Raven, is he too far forward? BT Faded looking for the jump in. They can take down Roche themselves if they want. Raven, he wants to run into this and finish it off if possible. God, it's so hard to get this kill.
Kisses. Yeah, oh man.
Raven, roll, finding Carl, gets the pushback, maybe into a Roche afterwards. Jump forward, there's going to be the Chronosphere onto a couple, but is it going to be enough damage? Vacuum and no wall afterwards at all. They end up surging Mushi, but they have taken down 2.
2 buybacks.
This is okay, but they don't have Chrono now. That's what's really tough about this. Bash needs another one. Raven still living. Over to the side, they get the catch on the Zhao Yu. Zephyr gonna control him afterwards, and they take down the Darkseer. Much needed kill. Raven and Carl finish off Roche. And meanwhile, up here on the north side, Cuckoo trying to chase BT Faded and is gonna be able to get the Yule Scepter. Aether Remnant afterwards pulls him back in for the big old hug with the stun, and Geek Fam claim Aegis and the Faceless Void's life.
Well played by Cuckoo. After he used up the Void, he tanked aggro from the neutrals to make sure they wouldn't intercept the Aether Remnant, so they get the chain disable onto the Void, and also great decision-making to immediately buy back onto the Shadow Demon and the Snapfire, because if they didn't manage to catch Xiao Yu's Darkseer trying to escape, then it could have easily turned back around, because just the Ion Shell damage was starting to stack up. Healing Ward was down. Even though Chrono was also down, so was Omnislash. So a lot of Geek Fam's power was downhill, but the supports died so quickly that they didn't get to use their ults on their first life, so immediately after they buy back, and now Yules into Remnant.
They pull him back in.
Over the
barracks.
Oh,
good pull, though. Mushi able to stop Carl from getting stunned, the stun out afterwards, and he might end up losing his life here with the Aegis. Shao Yu, Yule Scepter lift up, still living through for the moment, and the healing ward keeps him alive. Faceless Void is going to be able to get that time walk off, but the jump in coming from Ben-Hur. They're trying to take down Raven, but the disruption, saving his life yet again. Carl somehow manages to live through the majority of that. The taunt comes out afterwards. He has Omnislash if they wanted to use it on the oh no, he doesn't have it anymore. And Carl's just going to go down. So a little bit of an overextension there, and a great reaction from CR to punish it.
And the streak is ended by Storm Spirit, so he gets 936 gold off of that 9x streak from Leshrac, so not having to buy back or anything on the Leshrac, I'm sorry, on the Storm Spirit, get that kill, and immediately burn off the Aegis, which with no objectives claimed, so Geek Fam getting a little bit overeager with taking that Roche fight.
And look at this, like, you know, you compare, I think this is one of the most surprising things to me. You see this net worth change, and as you said, that streak going to Storm, like, imagine if it just went to, like, you know, Darkseer randomly, or like, Lich. Like, Lich. It's only 78 gold that you get on the Darkseer, 78 gold on the Faceless Void, and then 936 on Storm. It's crazy. Like, getting that kill, it's insane how important it is.
Mm-hmm. And now they want to do something with Chrono available. They want to keep making sure that the ultimates are like properly staggered in their favor, so that whenever their spells are on cooldown, they aren't in a position to, or Geek Fam aren't in a position to take a fight.
Right. Oh, Cuckoo. Hello. They're gonna find this kill here onto the face, or onto the Void. God, every time I'm gonna suck up Faceless Void and Void Spirit. But that does give Geek Fam an opening with no Chronosphere available. See if they try and fight in the next couple of minutes because of that.
Well, there are no outer towers remaining, so Geek Fam don't really have any other
you?
objective.
He is dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's that Mask of Madness.
So
And now they're... Okay, I guess they are going to push high ground. Yeah, with that Chronosphere down, they're like, alright, fine, you have nothing to threaten us with now. Backdoor protection is down.
well,
That's, oh,
oh no, Mushi.
you hate to see it.
Oh no.
And the tip!
Dude, Cuckoo doesn't have anything else to do. He's dead right now. Ben-Hur pops a BKB. He's going to pull back in. Carl silence there off the side, so no disruption save. Oh, nice play, but Carl, he's going to get pulled back in at the last second by Zephyr. They didn't have enough burst damage. That Bloodstone heal making the difference. They do finally kill him off, though. And Geek Fam with their main big boy, Leshrac, gone. They're going to at least think twice before they go high ground.
That is the BKB debut for Ben-Hur, and a great way to show it off, being able to kill off the Leshrac. See, the other thing is that, like, yeah, so Blade Mail builders are the go-to thing these days against Leshrac, and Earth Spirit is very, very poor and has no real easy way to farm, so he's got it in his quick buy, but at this point, most Clockwork 4 positions would have it by now, I feel.
Right.
Granted, they probably wouldn't have gone for the Urn or the Spirit Vessel, they would have just rushed it.
Yeah.
And I am a little bit surprised that Earth Spirit did opt to go for the Urn if he's not going to finish it into the full Spirit Vessel. But it's possible that the game is just going so poorly that he needs to change his build, and there's no point stubbornly trying to make your way to an item that won't really make that big of an impact.
You know, the interesting thing there that you saw in that last fight as well, you're talking about, like, I mean, I agree that the Spirit Vessel's weird. I mean, I guess if you're not getting kills, then investing more in turn charges kind of sucks. But the thing that I liked, and one of the things that we you touched on in the draft that Earth Spirit does have, is that silence. And with all these defensive supports, if you got that silence, if it was just like a little bit longer duration onto that Shadow Demon, Carl probably dies earlier.
True.
So that's something to watch for, as Mushi is just gonna die again. He's throwing out these Chain Frost like cookies. And now they pull in another one. Oh, Faceless Void. The stun is there afterwards. The bash.
Oh, the bash.
Connects. And VT Faded going to back out afterwards. So yeah, that's one thing that you can kind of say about the Earth Spirit, at least, is he's going to probably try and get more points up into that silence.
Yeah, and you saw that as soon as Raven bumped into the Earth Spirit in his own jungle, he immediately had to Blade Fury, because it's not worth risking getting silenced. But at the same time, Raven has gone for a very, very greedy build. He has not opted for Manta style at all. No one on his team is building any sort of Dispel. The only Dispel is Leshrac's own Yules, and Void Spirit's Yules, but there's no Lotus Orbs, there's no Greaves. Everyone's kind of playing for offensive purposes, and so this timing of VT Faded Faceless Void's BKB, which 10-second having to be used defensively is not great, but he has a BKB, he has a Mjolnir, Storm Spirit has a BKB and a Kaya. Leshrac doesn't do very much in these fights right now, and he's kind of squishy because he built the Nether Shawl, or he's holding the Nether Shawl, and so if he gets caught in the Chrono, he will die very, very quickly, and he's not going to deal very much damage in the process. So this is a strong timing for CR, and hopefully they can continue to take advantage of it.
Yeah, that's definitely sort of one of the worrying things about this game for Geek Fam in a way, is that Storm Spirit, like, you know, and it's not just right now. You know, you mentioned that right now it's a strong timing for him, but it feels like CR will also get stronger as the game goes on. You've got the Chronosphere, you've got Storm Spirit, who's just a monster late game. Darkseer helps you to hold high ground. There are ways that CR could win this game given enough time, and that's just what the entire draft feels like it's built for, is to buy that time. BT Faded, gonna spot Raven there. Oh, that's the Abyssal Blade,
bash.
and in some trouble. BKB Chrono, Chain Frost gonna bounce back and forth. A great
Nice
disruption, though. That's enough to get him away, and now Raven gonna Blade Fury. Zhao Yu tries to get the Surge runaway, and it looks like they will be able to get away with murder. Cuckoo goes down.
It's Chrono and BKB, and now Carl spots out the Darkseer, gets the Yules from the flank, as well as the Split Earth. And Roche potential to respawn in 20 seconds, but not up quite yet, so it's another BKB spent, but they are continuing the game, and I agree with you. The later the game goes, it definitely favors CR right now, because Juggernaut's going to cap out. There's no real answer that Jugger has to the Faceless Void, because you're going to get chronoed. There's really no way that you're not going to get chronoed, and once the rest of the team...
Oh my god. Dude, he was playing with fire there. Yeah, Mushi's just dead again. Ben-Hur almost got taken down, but that was really interesting. He had BKB, decided not to use it because he was like, I can live through the burst from
What a
Carl.
player.
Like, that's really important. The fact that he thinks that he can and that he actually can live through that burst.
Yeah.
Zephyr, in the meantime, up top. Gonna throw out that Demonic Purge, and
Oh.
VT faded immediately. Wait, oh my god, he's crazy. Wait, he
Did the
canceled
creep die?
No, the creep they just canceled the TP because they saw VT faded TP, but now he doesn't have BKB TP. They're trying to cut him off.
He's hasted.
Wait, whose Mango Tree is this? Oh, it's Dyer's. Okay.
It's Dyer's.
Yeah. VT Faded's hanging out, gonna try and pick up as many mangoes as possible. They're trying to
Cuckoo's
cut
still
him off.
trying to cut it off, yeah. They don't have scan available.
Oh, they know.
And now Cuckoo shows himself, so yeah.
All right. Well, there they go.
Claim the outpost, and now they're just gonna wait until Roche respawns. Post a remnant up in there.
Dude,
And
right now the odds are 12-1.
what?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty disrespectful. This is not a 12-1 game. I would not say that by any means.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I like on Dota plus regulations, I would say that it's probably like 70-30 right now. Oh, Earth
That
Spirit.
is what it is, roughly. As Cuckoo
Alright.
finds Earth Spirit, and
He's
the
got the
follow-up coming.
eggs.
Yeah, they got him. Hayo's super done. But are they trying to fight right now? They're anticipating them running back up here, and they want to try and go for the big play. If this was to work, they would need to find everybody, but they're not going to get them.
They should just figure out what the deal is with Roche, because like Faceless Void holds the biggest factor in this Roche fight. Radiant can feel confident taking it if the Chrono's available, and Dire can kind of slow roll it if the Chrono's available, but instead they're dancing around the bottom half of the map. Are they going for an outpost now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, if they had control of the top outpost also, then maybe, because that's a huge experience differential at 30 minutes, but going for the bot outpost when you don't know where any of the team is and Roche's potential to be up, that seems like a bit of a mistake.
I think it was an actual call, though, because they had that ward there that spotted him over to the side. It looks like Darkseer is going to get found here. TP's out immediately afterwards, and Cuckoo doesn't have any way to break it. But this ward, and they did ping the Shadow Demon going by, so I think they knew that Roche was going down. And then they just decided they couldn't fight right then, maybe. I don't know. I don't know about the call either, but it did look like it was a call at the very least.
Well, they still have Chrono and all their BKBs, but now they have to burn through 2 Raven lives.
Yeah. It's
And they see VT... Oh, wow, VT Fate is a long way away from home.
Craggy Coat. We got the next tier of items coming up now.
Give that to Darkseer, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Carl? Maybe just trying to force out a BKB there. Goes in for round 2. Raven shows up. Mushi thought about giving him the Sinister Gaze, but decides against it.
Oh man, VT Fate was kind of in position for a Chrono, but didn't know where Shadow Demon was. Oh wait, he does know where Shadow Demon is. He's dying up top.
Bye. Does he live?
Oh my god, he lived!
What a
Freaking
player.
Magnetize can't even kill Shadow Demon!
I'm telling you, Magnetize is like the worst spell ever. Oh, Earth Spirit's so trash.
Whoa.
Forces out the BKB. Storm has one of his own, but guess what? That is an Aether
didn't
Remnant.
use
That was an Aether Remnant.
I thought you can beat it.
No, isn't that still the thing where Aether Remnant you can't out of Yules? I'm pretty sure that's the reason everybody was going it. Is it's not
Well, I mean-
BKBable.
Well, I mean, it's just a good combo in general, but
Yeah.
I'll have to test it.
Okay.
You may be right. Because otherwise there's no justification to not BKB, because he saw the Remnant also.
Right.
So he knew it was that combo was going to happen, so he's dead with no buyback.
Storm, 40 seconds. They've got Vacuum, they've got Chrono, they've got everything but a Storm, and that's the main damage dealer. Looking for that opening. Mushi yet again going down. Big Chrono, where's the follow-up? They have the wall down, trying to kill them all off, but it is just not going to be enough as they do lose the Void Spirit, but the Chain Frost coming a bit too late. Find the stun, Carl. Still a lot of damage there onto him. They pull him back in, another round of it. Ion Shell, but there's going to be disruption. And the Omni Slash completely destroys them. Oh, man. No more Mushi for this fight. BT Faded trying to run these heroes down, but there is going to be the
Soul Catcher.
And now the follow-up comes yet again as they take down Zhao Yu. Storm Spirit's back, but the rest of his team is gone. And this Bloodstone heal is too much for the Storm. Another roll in. Ohio trying desperately to stop it, but GG is called as all 5 are dead, and Geek Fam just gonna wipe the floor with them.
It's a bad laning phase into a worse mid game, into no late game, because the game ended at 33 minutes. As has been the trend with CR, they've just made some very, very peculiar decision making in terms of when to take fights, when to flex map control, when their item timings are strongest. And this was another game that was just a medley of those issues, because there were many occasions where, in theory, they could win fights. They could, farm a little bit more optimally or something like that, but they were just getting outplayed by Geek Fam every which way, which, again, it's all trickles down from having a disastrous laning phase. Raven 12-0-10 at the end of the game. You couldn't ask for a better first 7 minutes as a juggernaut. So it obviously, playing from behind is always very stressful, but there were chances for CR to come back into the game, and they just did not take them.
Yeah, I think it's a tough match. Playing Darkseer or Spirit into Juggernaut is just really hard. And it was such a good pick by Geek Fam. And I think that's one of the other issues that you kind of end up seeing with only having one ban in the second phase. Like, you can't ban both of them, so the other one's just going to get picked. So it's like, we might as well take this other hero that would help to stop the rest of the combo. But it didn't end up working out. Man, that was an interesting game. Game number 2 right around the corner. Neil, anything that you'd really like to see changed going into this second game?
Wait, I'm about to test this BKB interaction, because I want to see if it happens. Don't go to commercial yet.
No commercial.
Hold on.
Tell me.
I want to see. All right, so I'm gonna Cyclone him, put down the Remnant, activate BKB. Yeah, you can beat it.
You can? Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, BKB always gets take priority. Aside from the interaction that we saw on day 1 of our cast, where the Darkseer vacuum overwrote the Naga sleep,
right,
and then that was able to stun into something else. But otherwise, BKB always beats any sort of stun, because it gets take priority. So Storm Spirit not BKBing there was tough. Game losing.
Oh no.
The duality of man there, Gabe.
All right, that's fair enough. It sometimes happens. Sometimes you're the hero, and sometimes you don't BKB.
You're the creep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a little bit. Game number 2 right around the corner, as Geek Fam are going to try and close this one out 2-0. We'll see if Mushi, Ohio, and all of his friends on CR are going to be able to take it. If we're just going to see the 2-0. Be back in a bit.